Hello, Zeb Aurelios from Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to Inside the Force. Carabas. Gotta go. Hera's here.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Casey Cooley is coming at you from the remote systems of the Outer Rim territories.
I got the satellite dish aligned correctly.
That's right. I'm comfortably here on Coruscant. Casey has a sick Padawan at the house.
Oh, yeah.
So he's attending to that. So, but we wanted to make sure we got another episode in here because this is the first episode of the new year, 2018.
Indeed.
Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year, Casey.
Thank you. Yet another Star Wars movie year. Crazy. Every year is going to be like
in
this.
like 5 months.
Yeah. It's a good year. Every year's a good year now.
Every year's a good year. Okay, so as we do kind of our first episode of the year, I want to kind of talk about some brief news that has come out in the last week or two. Then we're going to talk about kind of the best of 2017, what we got this year, kind of reminisce a little bit about it, and then look ahead. What we know it's coming in 2018 and what's coming from yours truly Inside the Force. What can you expect a little bit from us this year? So I guess the only real movie news to talk about is the movie that's coming, Solo.
Yeah, Solo, exactly. Well, I mean, kind of going backwards a little bit, Last Jedi is past $1 billion, if anybody didn't know. So, major success at the box office. Congratulations. It's always good. Even though it's a very polarizing movie, still successful, and I'm glad. But moving on.
But it's not going to do near as what Force Awakens did.
No.
So there is there. I don't know if that's, but I don't know if that's contributed to the actual movie itself, or I don't know. It just shows you the amount of, because the only way you do that, the only way you get to $1 billion is the same people are going to see the movie over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, you're not getting like new crowds every weekend. It really is people that are going back is the only way you make that much money, because I see on Twitter, like I just saw today, someone was going back their sixth time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Good.
It just shows you, in my mind anyway, it shows you how many people actually went back for Force Awakens.
Yeah.
10 times, 12 times, it's like, that's the only way you get to $2 billion worldwide, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm looking at it, 1.2 billion over worldwide, 572 domestically, 632 foreign. Incredible.
Good job, Disney.
Yeah.
Way to go. They needed a boost. So, we're looking forward to Solo, Star Wars story this year, May 25th. And I mean, it's things are slowly starting to bubble up in terms of when we're getting a first trailer. We've been getting little leaks here and there of hopefully you all have seen it by now, the leaked banner that wasn't really confirmed yet until just this week, because we got some leaked Lego sets from the Solo film, and it featured that same banner that was leaked a week or so ago. And with these Lego leaks, of course, you get character names and new creatures, new vehicles, new troopers and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm going to go through here really quick, see if I can find it. But you got, Han Solo's in a lot of this, but also there's some with the female character, which I can only assume. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I can only assume it's the Emilia Clarke.
It is, yeah.
Character.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
So, and her name is, I haven't heard it spoken yet, but it looks like it's Kira.
Kira. Yeah.
Looks like Kira. And then we got other characters like Moloch, Rebolt. We got the Corellian Hounds, these little Star Wars dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We got some new troopers. So we already knew that the Imperials will make a appearance in this. So we got some what was that planet? The Mimban. What was it? I'm trying to go off memory here because I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
Go through here. Why is it not showing up? Well, that's weird. But it's actually a planet that has been referenced in canon before, but never seen. It was referenced in the Clone Wars and I think some other like little game. And it was the planet I read that Jedha was originally supposed to be. Mimbam. And so now it is in Solo, a Star Wars story. So we have some other characters. Let's see. We have a Quay Tolsite. We have Kessel operator droids. Mm-hmm. We have a new astromech droid called DDBD. And a couple different costumes with Kira and Han Solo. We actually got Han Solo and Beckett in Imperial gear, so I don't know if that means it'll be disguised, which I guess I'm sure they'll be disguised. And Beckett's full name is Tobias Beckett.
Yeah.
So a lot of little character nuggets there, which is pretty cool.
Lando, of course.
Lando, absolutely. This awesome yellow outfit.
Yeah.
And other little things with Han Solo, actually... oh my gosh, my brain fart here with his name. Glover. There was an interview with him about the director's swap and also just about the film in general. And he kind of talked about this one cool shot that Ron Howard brought to the table with the new stuff that he shot. And they were actually saying, like, he and Tandy Newton actually said that not a whole lot was reshot necessarily with like story-wise, like with characters.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I think later on they mentioned that he was more referring to that he didn't reshoot a lot.
Yeah, like Lando himself.
Yes,
didn't have any. So that doesn't mean like Han Solo didn't get lost. I don't know. So we haven't heard really much from all of them, but I keep wanting to say Danny Glover, Donald Glover. He talked about the shot that Ron Howard did with the Falcon, where it sounds like I guess the camera like starts outside the Falcon and swoops and it brings us into the Falcon. So it's like one long take that kind of takes us through the Falcon, which they were saying hasn't been done before, and it looks like it could be pretty cool new thing for Star Wars. So excited about that. And talks about the trailer. There's Reddit, our nice Reddit correspondent Cody Geiler has been keeping me up to date all weekend long. He's all about the Reddits. It's just such a huge thing. I just can't even begin to wrap my head around Reddit. But he follows a lot of the Star Wars leaks and speculation threads and on all these other Star Wars threads. And he was saying how there's some talk about it coming actually Sunday, the night we're recording this. Didn't happen, or it was debunked, and then there was talks about maybe the trailer coming out this Friday, in front of with GMA, Good Morning America, and then actually, Jason Ward from Making Star Wars, he tweeted that according to his sources, and he has apparently some crazy sources, that saying it won't drop on Good Morning America this Friday, but it won't. Basically, it'll happen soon. So it just says it isn't far off, is what he says. So we still don't know when it's going to happen, but I can only assume it'll be soon. Maybe, probably this month, hopefully. But
it's got to be this month.
It's got to be. I mean, we're even when we got the trailer for Rogue One in April, I thought we were pretty close with that, but now we're like really close.
Yeah,
we're within almost 5 months away, and.
Actually, almost 4 months away.
4 months away? That's true. Yeah.
I mean, we're within the fifth month.
Yeah. Geez. So I can't. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I mean, I know that I know there was an article too that came out about. Oh well, Disney and Lucasfilm, they're basically expecting not to make that much money off of Solo.
I can't imagine how much that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to be Last Jedi, or
Yeah.
at least I don't believe so, because
Right.
I do think that, for one, I mean, here's the thing too. There's still people out there I see on Twitter that actually think that this movie is still going to be pushed back to December, which I don't think I think it's too late for that.
Yeah, and there's no talks of that whatsoever.
Yeah, so
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine that either. So I mean, you're so by not doing that, also, and maybe not by doing that, by not making that decision when Ron Howard came on, because that would have been the
Right.
time to do it. Say, hey,
Yeah.
new change, we're going to take more time. Let's push it to December of 2018.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to do that. They still want to honor this May 25th for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, I mean, by committing to that, it's like, yeah, your marketing window, because of Last Jedi, is very small. So I don't think you can. I mean, you could pump out hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars right now, and I don't think you can change what ultimately this movie would have done, which I think is still going to be, close to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Which I think Rogue One was just over $1 billion. So, if it gets anywhere near Rogue One, it's a success.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're going to probably definitely get a lot of criticism based on
Oh, absolutely.
the actor, and Han Solo.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm looking. Actually, yeah. So Rogue One did literally $1 billion, 1.05 total. So I would say you get anywhere close to that, it's a success. I think you get anywhere in the 700s, it's a success. Because I can't think of a movie that has waited 4 months to start marketing.
That is crazy.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
nothing.
yeah.
Not even a teaser. Nothing. I mean, you would think you would think when we were at Celebration, you would see something.
Yeah.
A banner or a
something. Yeah,
poster
yeah.
or something. I mean, we didn't get a poster. We didn't get the name of the dang movie until what, August or September or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's just crazy. And I one of the Lego sets too is honestly, like, this is kind of rubbing me the wrong way. But the Falcon doesn't even really look like the Falcon.
It's different. It's just, yeah, I mean, I guess the show regression of age and make it look like a newer ship.
I mean,
They're
how
kinda
much
giving it
did
a paint
somebody?
job
Yeah, I
and
mean, how much?
stuff.
But see, the whole middle part of it is that there's no gap. Like, it seems like the whole front of it gets remade. I guess it's possible. I mean, it's had several different owners, but
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know. I don't know if this is what it was before he gets it, or when Lando's got it. I don't know. But yeah, and it's blue all over versus some of the red.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
it's weird.
it's weird how much they've changed it. It's not really the familiar Falcon.
I mean, aren't they even now playing with continuity? Because how did it look in Revenge of the Sith?
Very true. I don't know. I got to look back on that, because as far as I know, it had the gap
Yeah.
in between. So, I don't know. Someone must have done something to it before, after that. And I don't know. It's
Yeah.
that's true. We got to go back and look at that.
I'm trying to Google it really quick.
And then
looks like it has a gap.
it does. Yeah, I think it does.
Looks
I
like
think
it does.
Yeah, I mean, and then the just the image alone of Alden. I just looked him up. I mean, he's 28 right now, so he's technically the age that Han Solo is in A New Hope, right? 28, 29. So, looking at that image on that banner, it's just like, man, he looks like what he should be in Episode 4, not any younger. So,
Yeah. I know.
I
know.
just, it's tough, man. It's tough.
I love. Of course, I'm a big proponent of everything that they're doing, and Story Group and all that stuff. But there's still a lot of stuff that rubs me the wrong way with Story Group. Like, I do feel like that they care so much about so many things, great things about Star Wars, as they should, like with story and storytelling, making sure it's all succinct and logical. But it seems like they have a disregard for other things, such as like this, like a continuity with character appearance, kind of a little things like that, like how Han Solo should look like Harrison Ford at this point, and how why wouldn't they just make the story earlier in the timeline to fix that? It's like no, story wise, it doesn't really have an effect if he looks like Harrison Ford or not, but still, it's just the continuity and realism of the time. I don't know, I feel like that story group would have kept that in check. I feel like.
I totally agree, but that just throws it. It does start to throw you off a little because, for example, like Corey, your brother Corey, he was over here earlier today, and we were messing around with that Rebellion game.
Yeah,
and that's episode 4, right around that time. And one of the main characters on there is Han Solo, and he's the young Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, it's about that same age. So it's like. Okay, so from now on, it's like, which likeness do you go with?
I know that's
because they don't
want
look
to
the
focus
same.
on marketing. I know it's like if you want to focus on the marketing aspect, which everybody says, Disney, it's all they care about is the toys and stuff, which is fine. But like this, I feel like would cause a headache for marketing, and it's like, well, now who do we put out there? Like
I know,
like for this movie, I'm sure they'll put out Alden's face on everything, of course, but
from now on,
yeah, like 5 years from now, when they make Han Solo toys, whose face are they going to use?
Yes, exactly.
Ugh.
In the comic books, it's like it's all Harrison Ford. It's Harrison Ford.
I know, and it's like I'm out of respect. I'm worried that they're going to get rid of that legacy.
Because I will. I mean, if they say he's supposed to be, at least what the rumors are, he's supposed to be like 20. In this, right?
Yeah.
20, 21.
It's an age. It's like a jump in time. So it's like 18 to 24 or something like that. Or 18, or like maybe 18 to 28. I can't remember what the age is. But yeah.
But if they get anything anywhere close to episode 4, I'm done with that movie. I mean, I don't know. It's just going to be tough to accept.
It is. Like, I try not to be fanboy about all that kind of stuff, but this is a big one. This is a hard one to get over. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem very cool. Like, I'm sure story-wise it'll be good. I'm sure I'll like it as a movie, but I feel like I say this every time I talk about it, but it is the one thing that will hinge my opinion of the movie. And it's just this movie, like, no matter what, it's going to be a polarizing movie.
It is.
No matter what happens.
It is. So,
and I feel the same way about Lando too. I feel the exact same way. Like, I know Donald Glover does look like Lando, but it's not Billy D at all.
No.
Like, even though we're further away from Empire, but still at this point he should be Billy D, because if we think in Rebels, yes, it's animated. Of course,
that's
the
Billy
voice
D.
is
Williams.
Billy D. You can stretch it a little bit since it's animated, but the Lando comic, or still we're only like a few years. Like Empire and New Hope is a few years apart, and this movie is could be a few years from A New Hope, so we're like 6 years. So it's a little more okay because there's a little more time from that, but still, it's like Donald Glover's a little scrawny guy, and it's different.
Do we know? I can't remember. Do we know who? Like, Rogue One, John Knoll. That kind of came from his mind.
Yeah.
Who started this movie? Like, who said we should do a Han Solo movie? Because I know they asked Phil Lord and Chris Miller to come in and direct it.
Yeah.
But was it Kasdan that wrote it? That was like...
I mean, I would think it was Kasdan, but let me see if I can find that really quick. I don't know.
I mean, who thought it would be a good idea to do this and say, yes, let's do... I mean, I don't, because I would think that they were like, you know what, that there's some characters that are hands-off, and Luke, Leia, Han are hands-off.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, some people think like, well, eventually, they would have to recast him, right? It's like, no, you don't. Like, you just don't make a movie about him.
You just don't, exactly. I mean, that's what I would say if I was on it. I mean, yeah, because again, story group, there's a billion stories you can do. Why do you have to do that? It's like, Obi-Wan, if you get Ewan McGregor, that makes sense. If you want to do a movie between 7 and 8 and you want it to be about Luke Skywalker, you bring Mark Hamill back.
Yeah.
Or not 7 and 8, 6 and 7. Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't recast him.
Exactly.
So anyway,
I mean, I was watching some of the Golden Globes this evening, and Millie Bobby Brown, the girl who plays 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I think she would look. I feel like it would be a perfect young Princess Leia. Like if they did a Princess Leia, it's like 10, 12, 13.
True.
I feel like that age to like 19, there's a lot of change in a person's face. So
she's in Rebels too.
Exactly, but that's closer. Again, you can kind of stretch it a little bit.
You can stretch it a little bit.
But I feel like if you are going to do a movie with the character, one of the original characters, just go really young to where it's more believable that they age, that the face could age that much. It's just, I don't. It's just, Anyways,
I'm sure we got a lot more to talk about this in the next 4 months.
Oh yeah.
But again, next trailer is coming. Hopefully, we will see. Okay, so let's dive into 2017. Looking back at it, was a very, very monster year for Star Wars. There were so many moments. There were so many things that happened. So many new things that came. So I was just thinking, I don't know if you kind of made a list or not, Case. I just kind of made a list of things that I remember most about 2017 and what came. And obviously, first on my list, top of everything, it's not The Last Jedi. It was Star Wars Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
If I said it once, I've said it a million times. There's nothing like Star Wars Celebration. And people that haven't been, that are Star Wars fans, if you're listening to the show, you're a Star Wars fan, you got to get the Star Wars Celebration. That hasn't been announced when the next one is yet.
Nope.
But the anticipation, it's going to be in 2019. And I just encourage people to plan your trip there. Don't wait till the last minute to book anything. Get there. We will do our best to be there again and try to do a show again from there. Whether or not it's in Orlando or Anaheim, it's probably the two places it's going to be, and who knows which one it's going to be. But I just, especially this past celebration, 40th anniversary. We got the 40th anniversary panel. You had people that were there. George Lucas was there. Harrison Ford was there. Hamill. Even Billy D. Williams. You just had everybody there. And then you had, of course, The Last Jedi panel. It was the first time we saw a trailer. And all the things that go with Celebration. That's just hands down one of the highlights, not only of Star Wars in my life, but just my entire life this past year is because going down with friends of, my family, my friends, we all go down there just in a share. And I love seeing people's first reactions, like Cody and Anthony, guys that are like, "Oh my God," so, but that's all it takes. You get one time, and those guys are hooked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, anyway, that was one of the ones for me.
Definitely Celebration, and then focusing even more so, doing our show at Celebration.
Oh yes,
was just an incredible honor, and never thought that never thought it would happen because when I first heard, we always knew that they did podcast stage, they do podcasts, and just thought, hey, let's just might as well try. Totally forgot about it. Forgot I even applied, and then suddenly I get the email that we've been accepted. And then I just freak completely out and call you, and we just geek over about it. And and suddenly we're there and we're doing it. And we have Chris Gore, and then when you get a pretty decent sized crowd, and giving stuff away and getting people excited, and helping. It was a great crowd and great guests and great topics, and then it was just to top it off. Yeah, we were at Star Wars Celebration, but then you see our names on the pamphlets and the banners and the website say like, "Oh, there's Inside the Force doing their show this time," and we were part of that experience, and it was just an incredible moment that I'll never forget. And then the rest of that trip was amazing, and getting to see people and getting to all the other big highlights of like Rebels and all the stuff that we experienced was a lot of fun. And then just also with our show that year hitting our 200th episode was pretty amazing. So
true.
So it's just it's been a big year.
Very true. The experience of doing that show there was phenomenal, and thank you for everybody that listens to us and were there with us, and even tweeting us and saying congrats and all that stuff. I mean, it was a phenomenal moment. So, of course, after Celebration, I would say that things that Star Wars I think that we got this year were some of the things that are incredible. One is obviously it's Rebels. Rebels has easily become one of my favorite shows, period. And so well done. If you think about 2017 when season 3 came back, that's when if I recall correctly, I think that's when we got most of the Saw Gerrera storyline.
Yeah.
Because after Rogue One came out, he ended up showing up, and you get you get more about his storyline, about trying to figure out what's going on in Geonosis and what the Empire's planning. They're getting closer and closer to try to find what they're doing with the Death Star that we know. And of course, the beginning of this season. Now, I'll admit that there were some really good episodes. There were some that I didn't think were so great so far, but I feel like we're heading into an unbelievable finish to Rebels. But seeing X-wings and the Hera and Kanan story, and all the stuff that's happening going back to Lothal has been really, really good.
Yes. I'm curious, man. Just curious to see how it all ends. And just hopefully we will get some closure, some answers with all these characters, and hopefully we'll know, if they exist in the current timeline or something like that to that effect. It just explains where they are.
Right.
I hope that happens.
Some of the other things that we got, I got to mention real quick is so we got introduced to a different kind of animation, which is the Forces of Destiny series. Now, I admit I'm not overall thrilled with it, but I definitely like some of the episodes, especially the ones that kind of tie in really close to the films.
Yeah.
And of course, I love the Hera one. That's just very interesting. Hera on Endor. But what do you think is Destiny?
I liked it. I did like it. A lot of them were just very short, like not even complete deleted scenes, but almost just like that kind of insert, deleted scene for like a movie is what it felt like. But love the Rey ones on Jakku.
Yeah,
those are just Rey's awesome. So I love seeing her, and she was in a few of them, and Han Solo's in a couple of them. But those are great. The Ahsoka ones are great with Yoda and Anakin. So I love that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to see if Disney, I guess I should say, is they felt that was successful or not. Because I wonder what exactly they were trying to accomplish. If it was just to open up a new demographic. Because honestly, I haven't seen much else with that franchise, Forces of Destiny, besides, every now and then I may see a toy on a shelf or something like that in a store, So I'm not sure exactly if they meant to do more with that. I'm kind of curious. I'd like to see more of that. I actually like the animation style. I know some people had a problem with it, but I would like to see more full-fledged episodes. That would be awesome with this style and this animation, these characters. But I mean, for what it was cool. Yeah, kind of like you. It's just they're all right. They're fun little short 2-3 minute shorts.
And basically, they ended up making. I think it was basically what they call 2 volumes of them.
Just like TV specials, I guess.
And they add up to 2 half-hour shows basically that they end up airing on Disney XD. And it was a little weird, but they got released on Disney's YouTube channel, not Star Wars. So they're aiming towards, I think, young women, young girls. So, but hey, guys like us, we enjoy them too. So.
Yeah, of course, I'll watch them.
Of course, for me, one of the best things that came out this year, which it's still ongoing, but it's Charles Soule's Vader series. Is I just got caught up over the kind of the Christmas break. I think they're through number 7, and I mean there it's so good. You're learning a ton. Now I gotta say though, looking back, I will mention a couple things, and I hope I'm not spoiling it for you. But obviously you read the beginning parts where I don't know how many issues have you read?
This new volume 2. Geez, I really am far behind. It's kind of a New Year's resolution is to get caught up on all the comics. But I just finished the basically that first arc of where he gets his lightsaber.
Okay, so I think you're through 5 issues then.
Yeah.
So basically you find out literally how a Sith bends the crystal and makes it bleed. I will say that I got to mention this really cool thing. It's out there, so it's not really a spoiler. But in the next arc, you're introduced to the Inquisitors,
right?
And the Grand Inquisitor that we see in Star Wars Rebel. So Vader, it's obviously explained to him from the Emperor that he has to train these Inquisitors to go after Jedi. Now, what's really awesome is that I think in issue 6, the Emperor shows him a list of potential Jedi. Right. Have you seen this?
I've heard. I don't think I saw the full list, but I heard a couple names.
Yes. So the names that are on that list that you can make out, because it's in Arabic. Of course, if you are kind of like geeks like us, you can translate it eventually. I actually been trying to. That's one of my things this year. I want to try to learn Arabic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the first name on it is first name on there is Casey Baradun. Now, no one has a reference to that. No one knows who that name is or where that comes from. It's the first time it's ever been shown. Second name is Yoda. Third name, which was very surprising, Quinlan Voss.
Yes, crazy.
The next name is Kirak Infila. That's the guy that Vader actually got the crystal from. The next name is Jocasta Nu, which this arc is about. And then the last name that you can make out, Ahsoka Tano. Which we know, obviously, she's alive at this point, right? Because this is directly after episode 3. So, the big surprising name is Quinlan Voss somehow survived Order 66, possibly. So maybe he will show up in somewhere down the line there. But obviously, Jocasta Nu, if you're reading the series, that's the one that the Emperor has high priority on, namely because she was obviously the keeper of the Jedi Temple and the holocrons and all this stuff. So very interesting what I won't spoil anything for anybody, but it's very interesting what she's doing, what you find out she's doing. And why the Emperor is so hell-bent on capturing her, not killing her, but capturing her. So it's really interesting. I can't wait to keep going with it. It does bring up some things I want to talk about, but obviously you haven't read it, so we can't talk about it yet. It's getting, there's a lot that's there. I feel like there's a lot that they're revealing about Order 66 and the whole point of the Jedi Purge, and what she's trying to do. It's because she says some things. God, we're gonna have to read this because we're gonna talk about this soon. She says some things that actually. I'm going to say this right. So she says some things to me that actually surprised me on how do I say this? The things she says about what happened in the Jedi Purge and all that stuff, some makes me wonder why they said certain things in The Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Or where The Last Jedi went. Anyway, so it's I mean, I reading it, I'm like, wow, this is, I don't know. So again, I'm kind of being, cryptic, but let's everybody go out and read those series. It's phenomenal. So the Vader series to me has been phenomenal. Then of course a couple of little things for me. Battlefront 2, that whole campaign was fantastic. That whole storyline is fantastic, and of course on the list is The Last Jedi. I mean, we got a Star Wars movie this year, so I don't know what else you got.
I mean, unfortunately, it is Star Wars related, but we don't normally talk about it. But besides Battlefront, like the like Star Wars Destiny, those kind of the trading card games and the collectibles games, like those are. It is a big year for that kind of stuff too. And if you guys are interested in that, then definitely go check out the Jedi Trials podcast, and they talk all about it. But but unfortunately, this was kind of the year that I kind of phased out of those games just because life happened. That's why. But
right.
But still great stuff, and it's just it is a great time to be a Star Wars fan. Not just because of the movies and TV shows, but also all aspects, like games like that and books. I mean, we got tons of great books this year. Last year you and I read through a crap load of them.
Yeah,
and a lot of the new ones that came out that year were pretty great, like Thrawn. Phenomenal book.
Absolutely.
So. It's just fun.
I think Empire's End was this year too.
Oh yeah, that was to cap off the Aftermath trilogy. That was great ending for that. It was just a brilliant year for books. I'm try to be an avid reader, so it was a lot of fun diving back once again to the Star Wars books.
Well, I am definitely not an avid reader, but I'm an avid listener.
Yeah.
So
I had to do that too. Yeah.
So 2017 truly was like I can't remember. I think I started my. I don't know if I started at the end of last year or early this year. I think it was early this year that 2017 anyway, started my audio account. Mm-hmm. I mean, I went through every novel that came out.
Yeah.
I've went through A New Dawn, Tarkin. I'm looking at them. That's why I know. Our Heir to the Empire, Lords of the Sith, Dark Disciple, Battlefront, Bloodline, Thrawn. The two Battlefront 2, the Aftermath trilogy, Leia, Rebel Rising, Ahsoka, Lost Stars. Certain Point of View, Luke Skywalker. I'm actually on Canto Bight right now. Did Phasma. So, wait, there's another one hiding over there. What's the other one I'm missing over here? Oh, Catalyst.
Catalyst was good, yeah.
So I did all the. I mean, I couldn't believe how fast I went through all of these books. Now, granted, I cheated a little bit because I was, I worked during football season. I worked at football games at Friday night, so that's like 3 hours. I can just sit there and listen while I'm filming football. So I went through a lot of these books really fast. Yeah. But anyway, some are good, some are bad. But like you said, this year, finishing the Aftermath was phenomenal. Thrawn was phenomenal. Leia was really good. certain point of view was unbelievable. People gotta read that if you love Star Wars, the first Star Wars movie. Anyway, but like Phasma, I wasn't too thrilled with Phasma. I'm really not. I'm getting through Canto Bight, even though it's not really that interesting because there's no one in there that I really know, or
Yeah.
And I'm still a little against that whole scene in Jedi and Last Jedi anyway. So, but I'm trying to get through. I'm going to get through every one of these books. So, anyway, so
Yeah. I tried to get through some of the junior novels. So like, I mean, they're junior novels, right? Like the Guardians of the Whills, Rebel Rising. Are those junior novels? They're not young adult.
Yeah, those are young adult.
Yeah.
Young adult. I think junior are the like
Adventures in Space, Wild Space.
Yes.
I mean,
it may be that new Rose one that just came out, I think.
Yeah, Cobalt.
Yeah.
Squadron. So I made an effort to get into those. I didn't get too far into it. Guardians of the Whills is still high up on the list. I need to go and read through them. But all good books. There's tons of, and there's great stuff coming out this year that I'm really excited about.
Good segue. So let's move into. So that's everything about 2017. I think. I mean, there's obviously we got all kinds of stuff. There's more. There's a ton of stuff that came on the comic side still in 2017. There's even more stuff on the, kids versions of things. Mobile games and just all kinds. Just all kinds of stuff. You can stories on like Chewbacca and the Porgs and stuff like that. I mean, there's like all kinds. I mean, Star Wars has been everywhere, and then of course not even counting all these other DK books that come out. Like absolutely everything you need to know got updated. The visual guides to the Last Jedi and stuff like that. So, it's just so much to. There's nothing. There's so much. There's not. You can never get enough if you really want it all. There's so much out there.
Absolutely.
One thing I will mention that I was pretty surprised about that I was looking on Amazon again to purchase some more trades on there. The very first, when in 2014, I think it was April 2014 when they announced Story Group and they announced that everything publication wise coming out after that would be canon. Shortly after that announcement, though, Dark Horse released Son of Dathomir, Darth Maul's Son of Dathomir, which was considered the first canon work of material. But it was still Dark Horse. It wasn't a Marvel, piece at the time. It said it was, from unaired episodes of Clone Wars, blah, 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 blah. This is canon. Well, I noticed as I was kind of looking at trades, they just re-released that series under the Marvel banner. So you can get that book now, Son of Dathomir, with the Marvel logo on it now, which will fit kind of, because I'm actually looking at, the reason why I said it is I'm looking at all my trades on the wall, and there's the Dark Horse one that's flagged on there, right? So it doesn't look cohesive. Well, I went ahead and bought it, so when I get it, I'll have Marvel replaced there, so it's all Marvel. It'll all look the same. Anyway, just throwing it out there to people that that kind of questioned whether or not anything from Dark Horse was canon. That actually was the only thing from Dark Horse that is canon. But again, like I said, it just got re-released December with the Marvel banner on it. So, okay, so 2018. First up, so we'll get into what to expect from Inside the Force, but what is coming from Star Wars that we are looking forward to in 2018? Well, Case, we were just talking about it. I don't know if Solo's at the top of my list. right now, so right now, I would say at the top of my list right now is the Rebels finale.
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to end? That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to in 2018.
Definitely with that. I mean, I can't really think of what all book wise is coming out, but I'm very excited about the Thrawn sequel.
Correct.
Coming out this
Yes.
summer. Thrawn Alliances. And because mainly because of the mystery around it. Like, I don't know what it's about. I know Vader and Thrawn are in it, and I'm just excited how that's going to fit in with everything else, and just the mystery around Thrawn still, because now he's canon in this new world. So, what's going to happen with him in Rebels season finale? What's going to happen with him in this sequel novel? And just, it's just crazy that they're plugging him in right in the middle of the saga, where almost every gap is already filled. So you're putting this villain in that's a huge villain. But how are you going to make him work in all these, for the rest of the story, for the rest of the saga? And so I'm just curious to see how it's all going to unfold. So the fate of Thrawn is what I'm really excited about this year. The Thrawn Alliances and Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, something's got to happen with him. Just like something's got to happen with Kanan
Yeah.
and Ezra.
Yeah.
Something's got to happen with Thrawn to explain why he's not part of the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I think the Thrawn book, to me, in a way, and I hate to say it if we're wrong about it, but I don't know if they've really announced any other novels for 2018 yet.
I can't think of it really.
Yeah, I don't think. I can't remember any other stories that are coming.
And I'm already gonna say.
In fact, I'm not even sure they mentioned. I don't think they've ever even mentioned a solo novel like the book.
Oh, true.
The movie.
I heard that. That's true. But I'm already gonna kind of say another thing that'll be at the top of my list, which hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I believe it will. Is the announcement of the third Dave Filoni animated series?
Ah, very true.
Don't know if that's really gonna happen. I think it will. It has to. And hopefully they'll announce it, pretty close to when Rebels is going to end, and it'll be arriving this fall. So that's my prediction.
That is a very good one. When do you think that's going to happen?
I think. If just with the history of all of his animated shows, like if one is going to come out soon, I feel like they're already been working on it. Just because they're always so fast with that, or close. They've already started somewhat of a production on it. So I think very well it could come out, at least season 1, this fall if they announce it. Pretty soon, early spring.
Yes,
because I'm pretty sure that's how they did it. And isn't that how they did with Rebels? Like, I feel like it was really quick when Clone Wars ended. They announced Rebels, and it happened.
Oh yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Soon.
So,
yeah.
Gosh, I hope it happens this year, because I'm very excited about continuing this animated series with.
I agree.
Star Wars.
I think that's a couple other announcements that I think we're going to get this year. At some point, I don't know. I guess it has to be this year. I would say maybe close to the end of this year, but we should get the title to episode 9.
Yeah.
Which is coming in December of 2019. So, I mean, we could possibly not get it till the beginning of next year, but
yeah, that's possible.
Hopefully. But I do think this year we will get some kind of announcements or confirmations of the Obi-Wan film.
Indeed.
Because
gosh,
yes,
so excited.
Because after Han Solo or after Solo comes and goes this summer, that's the only. So what we'll have looking forward to is episode 9, and then the next Star Wars story, which is apparently an Obi-Wan story in 2020. So it's got to be some kind of announcement. I would think we would get something along, at least. Maybe not, a title or anything like that, but at least some casting, or what the story's going to be about, whether or not Ewan McGregor is going to attach to it or not. I mean, I do not see you doing this movie without Ewan McGregor.
I know. Gosh.
So, I feel like I will be. I feel like the emotions that we're going to go through with Solo will be quickly changed if Ewan McGregor is announced as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my gosh!
Don't you think?
If he's not Obi-Wan, I safely would bet that 100% of the fans would hate it if Hugh McGregor did not show up, was not asked to come back.
I agree.
I don't know if even one person would be okay with it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
On top of that, they could make it maybe a young Obi-Wan, but still, even that, no, don't.
He is the young Obi-Wan.
Yeah. You can't go even younger. Yeah, you can't do a 10-year-old Obi-Wan Kenobi. Come on, just do what everybody wants.
I know.
Just please for this one, just do what everybody wants.
Do what everyone wants.
Just do it. Just
Ewan McGregor on Tatooine.
Yeah,
going on some adventures.
That's what we want to see.
That's all you
gotta
do.
Make it happen.
Yes. So, I mean, I think that, I honestly, if I was Lucasfilm, I'd be like, okay, Solo comes out in May.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let it roll for 3 weeks, and then we'll announce Ewan McGregor.
Yeah,
everybody will be all happy again. That's what I would do.
This is just
So I expect that announcement in June sometime.
Okay, got it.
Of course, there's a slew of comics still coming. I just looked up the novel released. There's other junior novels announced, but Thrawn is the only novel announced this year besides the novelization of The Last Jedi, which is coming in March.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So those are the only two adult novels that are announced right now. I'm sure there's going to be another release sometime toward the end of the year where you have another novel. Because it seems like they're putting out 2 or 3 novels a year. And those are pretty much, they're working on them and they're done and they come out pretty fast. But, I mean, do you think, with this being the end of Rebels, do you think we get another animated series by the fall?
I think we can, yeah. I think that's possible.
So?
Yeah.
So what's the chances
I think with the speed that these guys work.
What's the chances of a live action announcement this year?
I mean, yeah, I think we will, because I think Bob Iger last year, when they were talking about the new Disney streaming service.
Yes, that's coming in 2019, I think, right?
Right. And I think Bob Iger, he pretty much let it be known without going too far into it that there will be, there'll be more Star Wars stuff with that release, and I think he even kind of alluded to a live action potentially. I think that would be made official, and this year I feel like it will be made official that they'll have a live action show that will be released for 2019.
I agree. I think there will be if there's a time to do a live action Star Wars show, it's now. And it's starting it now so that you have episodes ready to go when the streaming service launches. I mean, I think that would be the ultimate. I mean, you want to talk about getting your Star Wars fan base on board with this right away? That's how you do it. You put a live action animated, not even animated, a live action TV show, series or whatever, even if it's 10 episodes that you release all at once as the streaming service comes online. And I'm telling you right away, you'll get even more people if you make it about Boba Fett.
Yep.
Or any of those bounty hunters and stuff like that they were talking about doing before, like the Underground series. I do think somewhere along this year that's if that's going to happen, something and that has to be announced about that. So that's the only reason I could think that. It's the only reason I can somewhat think that we wouldn't get a Filoni animated series is if he's attached to a live action.
True.
Unless they hand over the animation stuff to somebody else, which they very well could. There's plenty of good animators out there, storytellers, or whoever's been working with them, I'm sure could I mean, I'm sure he'd oversee it in a way, but
Right.
maybe just not to be the executive director of it. But yeah, there's a lot coming this year. There's a lot to talk about as we continue on the show. We will continue to keep talking about it. Just a lot of big, because right now the only thing we know about is Solo. The only thing we know is the Rebels is ending. The only thing we know is there's talks about an Obi-Wan film, and J.J. Abrams is directing Episode 9. That's it, really. And Thrawn book and some comics are coming. It's like there's so much to come because things are ending.
Exactly.
And of course, I mean, and then I don't even know. I really don't think. It's funny because we all know that Rian Johnson is doing a whole nother trilogy, but I don't know if we hear anything about that for a couple years. I really don't.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I think it's going to take him a year or two to even structure out what he's going to do.
I think we'll hear about it at the next celebration.
Yeah, very true. Which next year? Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all a year from now.
Yeah,
a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, depends on when they, year and a half from now. So
yeah,
that would
very true.
That would feel right.
Okay, so the last thing we'll talk about really is our show. Inside the Force, this coming March will be 5 years.
5 years, man.
Is that right?
Yeah.
5 years. So we have done our best to give you weekly insights from two of the biggest geeks in the Star Wars universe. And here's the thing: is that one thing so there's several things that we want to talk about that we will do in 2018, kind of our goals and our ambitions. And one, I think we both in agreement. The biggest thing is we want to bring more content. Mm-hmm. We've really just focused on being a podcast week in and week out for years, where we do everything, just talk about everything Star Wars. We talk about, obviously, we review everything. We talk about what we're into, reading, books, comics, games, of course, television, movies, all that stuff. I mean, everything. If it's Star Wars, we're talking about it. I mean, we're talking about it all. But of course, we want to keep thinking about other ways we can do that. One is more social media content, more interaction with you guys, the fans. And then another thing we started in 2017 is our YouTube channel. Now, what's on there right now, if you go look and subscribe, is right now it was our journey to the Last Jedi, where we made fan-made trailers of all the films that were out there, all 8 of them so far, and then not including The Last Jedi, but 7 episodes plus Rogue One, as well as commentaries. We did monthly commentaries where we released them each month, and we talked in depth with the guest and talked about the films pretty in depth. And speaking of episode 8, it looks like I think I saw it right. It looks like there's going to be a March Blu-ray release of The Last Jedi, meaning that sometime in April we will do our commentary.
Oh yeah,
for episode 8, The Last Jedi, Casey and I. But anyway, we've got to sit down more about, which we will, especially this week, about what we want to do more for the show and how we want to branch out more and do more content. But the main thing is more content, and the other thing is trying to get more guests on the show and get we're going to have guys that have been on the show a little bit more regularly. I think guys like Cody Geiler and Russell Johnson, who is still continuing to do some comic reviews for us. Anthony, your brother Corey, stuff like that. So we will do our best to keep just different voices, not just ours, on this thing and expand. So, but that's really, there's definitely things we'll talk about more in the coming weeks. The one thing I will mention is, it's funny because we've always kind of, if you hear our intro, which has not changed, our intro to our show has not changed in all the years that we've done this. But the main thing that it says in that intro is that we researched hundreds of holocrons to give you this information, right? So all I got to say is, the holocron aspect of this thing is somewhat we really want to do and take literally. So again, we'll talk about that more in the coming weeks, but we're going to do more with the holocron aspect as we try to develop more content for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing that, hopefully we will, gain more listeners. We do want to interact a little bit more with the fans, so I do want to do just a ton more giveaways and Q&As and whatever, So please, we thank you, and we can't, like we always said, this is something Casey and I would do anyway. We would be sitting around talking Star Wars all the time anyway. So I'm so glad we've been able to do a show about it and bring it as often as we have. And we both enjoy doing it, or else we wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
So 2018 Case.
It's a big year.
What do you
it gets
think?
bigger every year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking through too. Like, I'm excited about how we can expand our own franchise in a way, if you can call it a franchise within Star Wars. But I'm excited to dive deeper because there's much more to dive deeper about, and the phenomenon is only growing, and it's only getting bigger and better, and the community is getting bigger and better. And I'm excited to be a part of this community and to help make the community of Star Wars podcasting and the fandom to make it more of a welcoming and engaging and just entertaining community. So we will do our part. I'm really excited to do our part in helping just bring the fans more into this world. Like you said, where we went to Celebration last year, and it was Cody and Anthony's first time going. They're so excited, and now they're hooked and want to go with us every time it happens. And so I want to be a part of that experience for more fans and bringing more fans access to this world. So however we're going to do it, it'll happen. Yeah,
because that is the thing, and you brought it up. You somewhat brought it up right now, but this whole journey that you and I started. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's we're definitely doing it because we love Star Wars. I mean, there's, and you can, we can sit here and talk about it till we're blue in the face or till I start crying, one of the two. Star Wars is a huge part of my life and has been a huge part of my life since I can remember. So doing this is not, it's fun. It's not, I don't feel burdened by this at all. I don't feel obligated fully. I feel obligated in the sense that we've established the show enough to try to make it consistent. But we're not getting. No one's forcing us to do this. No one's forcing us to say, hey, you got to do this every day, every week to get this out. It's like, we are doing this because we enjoy it. We are doing it because we love to talk about Star Wars. We love to interact and get people interested in it. But I think the main thing is that, I mean, we are what other, I mean, there's million, like you said, there's millions of podcasts out there. There's a ton of them about Star Wars. There's whatever you're interested in, you can probably find a few podcasts about it. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there. But that's the beauty of them, is that no one's, most of them in a way, most of them aren't done by celebrities or famous people that are getting paid to do it. It's like most of them are done by everybody, people like us just sitting in their house recording episodes. And I mean, it's like how, like what I'm getting to is that I'm saying that by us doing this, in a way, we are contributing to a company, Lucasfilm, Disney. I mean, we're contributing to them without them really even knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we're doing our best to promote Star Wars, to talk about Star Wars, to get people interested in Star Wars, to get people, just reviews on people that love the stories and love the things that they're putting out. I mean, we're doing this, obviously not influenced by Disney, not influenced by Lucasfilm. And what I'm saying also is that how great is it that you have that this company like Lucasfilm has fans like us out here that are doing it for us without even have to pay us. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely.
So it's such a great thing, and I just want, like you said, we kind of talked about this before we started recording, but I just want to, we just want to be a part of the positivity about Star Wars and about the stories that they're putting out there. We want to be influencers in a way that we can, in a way that we're just contributing what we can to the world of Star Wars. I mean, it's really all it's about. And again, 2018, we want to find ways to do that more somehow. So I don't know if I said all that greatly, describing it, but it's just an incredible. I mean, it's just Star Wars is incredible, and it's phenomenal how big it's gotten, and how something that I grew up with is still and will always be going. You know what I mean? So, Star Wars turned 40 last year, and so did I. It's like every year, every big moment is always been a big moment in my life too. So, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Year after year, this thing keeps getting more and more and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's it.
Very good.
I will say, one of the last things I'll say is I did throw away, which I'll be doing more. I'm going to do more of these in the future. I threw a poll out there last week, and I said, where does The Last Jedi rank on your list of Star Wars films? And I had 3 options on there. Top 3, because now there's 9 movies out there. Top 3, middle 3, bottom 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the results are that 44%, which is the highest, said top 3.
Nice. Good.
40% said middle 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then 16% said bottom 3.
Good.
So,
I'm glad.
Did you vote on that one?
I did. I said middle 3. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm pretty sure it's the middle 3.
I did middle 3 as well.
Yeah.
So more people than us two contributed to the top 3.
Well, I'm good. See, that's the thing. Like, yeah, it's a polarizing movie, and we have our beef with it in some way or fashion. But it still makes me really excited that there are tons and tons of people who think it is the top 3 or even the best movie of all Star Wars movies. That makes me. I'm glad. I'm glad there are people out there that love it that much, and it makes me excited because people. It's the thing. Star Wars unites all of us into under common reasons, but people have different. They like different Star Wars movies for different reasons. Like my favorite Star Wars movie is held under a different criteria than your favorite Star Wars movie. I think you like yours for different reasons. Why I like mine. but we all like Star Wars for some very similar reasons, I think. So it's a great versatile world, and it makes me excited that even though this movie is panned by a lot of people, it's still embraced by a lot of people. And it's fun.
Totally agree.
Makes fun conversations.
It does. And with that, we will end our conversation. Thanks, Case, for calling in.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back later in the week. Again, that's our yearly wrap-up, so that means we are cranking in 2018 from now on, and we will continue. I mentioned this on the last episode. We will continue our discussions on The Last Jedi because we've got guys that are dying to get on the show and give us their opinions. We've got a lot still to talk through. I'm trying to see it one more time, actually. I'm trying to take my daughter to see it, so I'm going to try to make it out maybe sometime this week or this weekend. But this is just a lot to still talk about it. So we got that coming up, and of course, again, we got more Solo news. I'm sure that's going to be dropping week after week after week leading up to the May release. And then Rebels will be back, I think, in February. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot to talk about and a lot coming up. So thank you for listening, everybody. Take care. Happy New Year. And we will see you next week for Case Cooley.
The greatest teacher failure is. Well, I should have done that in Yoda voice. I'm sorry, everybody. But a little Yoda quote from Last Jedi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what he says to Luke.
Wait, say it again.
The greatest teacher failure is.
Oh, okay. That's
Luke's big revelation. It's like, oh my gosh,
right,
you're
right. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Good quote.
Good one. It's a good one.
All right. He's Kryptonian113 on Twitter. I am D Cunningham 21 on Twitter. Of course, InsideTheForce.com. Go there. Get all links to all of our social media on there, to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. All of our videos and podcasts are on that website. Comic reviews are on there as well. So from Russell, again, more video content is coming your way soon, and we will get there on there as well. So go to our YouTube channel, subscribe for more that's coming. We appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. Take care. He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Inside the Force, a Star Wars podcast hosted by David Cottingham and Casey Cooley. For more shows, additional content, articles, and the latest Star Wars news, please visit InsideTheForce.com. Inside the Force. For the Force in all of us.